Let's spill that tea. Humble tea it is. Hello everyone and welcome to the Humble Tea, which first I have to be a little salty about because I just noticed. So as this is going up today, just a couple hours for me as I'm recording, but anyways, it's my birthday and it's my 28th birthday. And last week was the 28th episode of Humble Tea. So all these episodes I skipped. If I would have, skipped maybe the one before last time, that was kind of short. And, I was like, about procrastination stuff. Yeah, had I skipped that, then this would have been the 28th. But, it is what it is. But anyways, yes, it's my 28th birthday, as I like to call my Emma Swan birthday, because and once upon a time she was 28, and then when that all happened, so now I think about it, which, yes, we're going to talk about Once Upon a Time, because I finished it, and oh my gosh. But yeah, I like to say, it's like, dang, like all that she went through when she was 28, from up to when she was 28, and then all that, it's just like, whoa. Like, I know, TV show and drama and all this stuff, but still. Anyways, I have to make a couple announcements, okay? 1, yes, I finished the season. 2, I have to take my foot out of my mouth to do this, and I have to thank my best friends, Sarah and Justin, for pushing me and my friend, Court, to watch it with them, and because the season is amazing and worth it, and yeah. I'm going to say it now, spoiler alerts, because I'm going to talk about it. The show is crazy and I love it. And then another announcement. I need to make a poll, okay? This happened last week on stream, but I need to know where you are, not, specifically, but like if you're in the United States, are you north, are you east, are you south, are you west, are you in another country, whatever. That, and then, do you like orange juice? Do you like pulp or pulp free or extra pulp? It was a debate in the stream, and I have to know, is this a southern thing? Also, I looked it up, and pulp helps cut it down to not be so sweet. So is that thing, like I said, is this something like if you don't like too much sugar? I don't know. Is it? I have to know. This random poll, I have to know. I thought I would quit, but, like I said, this was last week. I saved it for this. I have to know. So, yes, please. So, yeah. But yeah, let's get into it. So, the biggest thing about season 7 of Once Upon a Time, my theory of, if you don't like it first episode, at least watch the second episode and then give your opinion whether you want to continue it or you can't do it. And, I did not stick to my theory because I thought, okay, this is season 7. It's the same series and I can't do it. And, I have that theory of at least watch 2 episodes because, watch 2 episodes of the show because first episode is just, it happens, it's boring, because you're getting to know the characters, you don't know anyone, and I have to say, it's the same thing with season 7. Yes, you know a lot of the characters, but it's different, and so you have to think of it as that, you had to put yourself in a different mindset, that it's like Henry's chapter, and so there are new characters, and but you do get to reflect on some of the older characters. You do get to see them, especially at the end. And honestly, season 7, season 6 was like a good end chapter for Emma and Hook and Snow and Charming, and they can finally rest, that they're not still coming after them for that. And now it's that. And then another thing, it's like they really stepped up. There was so many plots and twists, and just when you think you figured it out, it turns the story around. You think it's Lady Tremaine, and it's all this that came down to the end, it's like each was strategically planned. And again, it makes sense if you know the show that it was Rumpelstiltskin. Well, not the Rumpelstiltskin who was grown and evolved, and learned and, been with Belle, but the evil side. And, because in season 6, we see, end of season 5, season 6, we see the evil queen again. And, because Regina wants to separate, because she is done with that side. She wants to be done. She doesn't want to be known for that. And so, it kind of happens with Rumple. And I love the freaking ending. It was just so powerful that, anyone, if you fall into that darkness or whatever, if you truly, go into the light and, see, turn yourself around, get rid of the darkness, get rid of that darkness in you, that you can come about and just, I didn't, it's so hard, used to, I guess it's, as I got older, it's, I want to cry, but it's, physically, the tears, it's hard for them to physically come out when I'm watching a show. But, I got so teary-eyed, watching Rumple rip his heart out to save Nook. And so it was just oh my god. And then, he didn't know, but he did it anyways. And then he got to be reunited with Belle. It was that was the whole point. Instead of you going and giving up the darkness to, and that was the whole point. He realized he couldn't do that. He knows how bad the darkness is and how it consumes you. He couldn't do that to an innocent. And he couldn't do that. He kept consuming it. And then he gives up his life. And it was that's how it gets to Belle. It wasn't, it wasn't giving up the dagger and the power and all that. It was, being selfless, having compassion and stuff. And it's just, and then, even also when he was, talking to Nook, and he was you were the closest thing I had to a friend. And I was just I don't know, he finally, he had Belle, and, obviously, Belle did a lot of his growing and, or helping him, realize love and stuff like that. And he had his family, he had his grandson, and him and Belle had a son together and stuff like that. So, he was really the love and the family side. But, I feel him having Nook, as a friend, when they were cursed and all this stuff, it was, there was just another side. It's just different, friends and family. You love them like your family. But, there was, that difference, because, he just, it was either when he was, a coward and stuff, people made fun of him, and then he was the dark one, and it was just, people just feared him. And so, it wasn't, there was, no true friendship. It was, it was even, him and Regina, obviously, have, their relationship evolved and stuff like that. But, with Cora and stuff like that, it was, you scratch my back, I scratch yours, Cora did stuff for him, he did stuff for her, and it was just that partnership. But wasn't, true. They both, they had true intentions, evil intentions both ways, and so, was it, really doing something for each other, they had something else in mind, kind of a thing. And so, I don't know, it just, it felt so good. And then, seeing Emma, and, how Emma and Hook have a daughter named Hope, and that Regina got to be the queen, and, not known as the evil queen, but the good queen, and, it just, come full circle that we started in, Snow's castle with Regina barging in on the wedding and all this stuff, and then to end on the castle, and she gets crowned the queen, and, there's the dwarves, there's Grumpy and stuff like that, and they especially because, in season 6, they're in Storybook, and they're the ones that fix up her office, and just, just, oh, but okay. And then going back, like I said, twist. So, you think this whole time you're like, why aren't they contacting, once, like, Regina finds out, why aren't they contacting Storybook? And you figure out, they went back in time, like, it was like, or went forward in time. So it's like, they're still in the past in Storybook, like, I guess future. There was a time jump, so obviously they couldn't go to Storybook. And so, there's just a lot, like, mine goes all over the place, like, the princess when he's, and when him and Henry are in the Enchanted Forest, and he's, like, looking at Henry's past, he's like, wow, that's a lot, then it'll make your head spin, and it's just like, make your head spin, yeah, I mean, you imagine him going through it, we're just watching all this, but just, and seeing, like, Ariel, and all the people from the others, and it truly, I have to say, I said that Nashville was my favorite series finale, but I have to say, this is right up there with it. I feel like season 6 did good about wrapping it up for them. It did, Emma's story and all this stuff. And then season 7 did good about wrapping up the whole series. It giving it a closure, Yes, characters have died, but it's like Regina even says there, she's like, yes, there will be loss. There will be good times, but that's life, and it's like, I feel like that with passing of Rumple, like, I mean, he was immortal because he was the dark, so, like, he was literally, like, I mean, he was even older than Belle, and, like, if you think about it, and so it's like, he's gone through all this time, that it was good, that now his soul's at peace, and he's with Belle, and he can be happy, and not worry about this, and all that, but, like, when you're watching it, it's like, okay, you think, okay, Lady Tremaine, but then it's not Lady Tremaine, and Drizella, and then Gothel, and it's like, they all had their hand in it, but it was leading, so you're like, okay, it's Rumple, knowing him, he kind of spun the wheel, for Regina, and tying that whole in, well, kind of the whole thing, but then you go, and then it's like, Peter Pan, and then Black Fairy, and then you're like, okay, Rumple, why did he do this? He's trying to get to Belle, like, he changed. Now, all these different realms and stuff like that, there was the Wish realm, well, Wish Rumple, who, well, he never met Belle, so he's pure evil, and he wants that power, and just, oh my god, I can still see it when he, like, takes out his heart and crushes it, and it destroys the evilness, and he did that. So, to save Nook, I should say the new Hook, so he could be with his daughter Alice and live a life, and, because he was poisoned, and like I said, just all the twists, and, like, how him and Gothel, because it was supposed to be Rapunzel, but it was really Mother Gothel, she was, like, tricked, so, but I guess the Willy wasn't a Rapunzel, but, like, at the time Lady Tremaine was trapped in, Gothel had trapped Lady Tremaine in the tower, and so, I guess you could say she was Rapunzel, like, no, that was her name before, her name was Rapunzel, right, something, yeah, her name was, she took her husband's name, and she was Lady Tremaine, and, like, that whole thing, and then, like, with Anastasia, and Giselle was, she was crazy, like, I'm glad, like, her and her sister, like, made up, and they got to go to the, like, I kind of like that aspect, too, that wasn't always just, like, love, and all this, like, those family aspect, and they went off, and there was the whole thing, it's, like, fast, and it was like, okay, we don't have to deal with her, because Giselle was a whole mess, but I love that, like, that she got that closure with her mom, because, she felt like that she loved Anastasia more, and there was that whole thing with them, and, it's just kind of that thing, if you don't ask, and you just assume, you're making an ass out of you and me, but, I like that was all cleared. And then freaking Alice, like, she had to pop, she was pop, like, you find out pretty quickly, because the whole, like, potion medicine, crazy, all that she's probably Alice. And then found out she's Nook's daughter, and all this stuff, and then, like, oh, again, how protective Rumple is of Tilly. It was just, oh, like, again, because she's one of the Guardians. She's one of the Guardians, and so, but, like, and that was the whole thing. Like, he just couldn't see taking that, giving her that, have to deal with that. Have to deal with the darkness and all that stuff. He had grown a likeness to her. And it was just so sweet. And, just, yeah, it just really, it was just really something else. And then, just, but, like, and then she had to come down to it, and, it was funny, because, like, season 6, it's, like, all about the final battle, and who Emma has to fight, and it's all drawn out to that, and it was just, like, it just, like, goes to it until he defeats her mom. She defeats Mother Gothel, and that's it. But, you go back to it, and Mother Gothel, they were, like, these fairy, or earth character, like, that help take, they have, like, magical powers, and she wanted to be human, but then, she got wronged by the humans, and then she wanted to be better and defeat them, and then she got defeated. And, like, the fact that Henry, like, the way that they found out, too, I have to say, I love, it wasn't always waking up or something like that, like, that they had objects that they remember, oh, look at it, and those objects that woke them up, like, Henry's scene, and he remembered the photo and all this, and he goes to his mom, he goes to Regina, and he's the one that saves her, because Gothel had got her with her magic, and, it's just, honestly, it's so well done. Like, it was just the perfect wrap up. And it honestly, just every single episode, it was like, wait, what now? Like, you seriously, you didn't know what was going to happen next. But yeah, them kind of, like, waking themselves up, like, with, I think it was, Cinderella and Lucy, and stuff, like, getting the stuff out of the closet, and that's what woke them up, made them realize, oh, wait, this isn't our real life. We are, she is a princess from this fairy tale land, she is Cinderella, and, yeah. Now, I have to say, downfall, when everyone, I have to say, throughout the whole series, through 7 seasons, everyone was so particularly perfect for the roles. Snow, Charming. I love that Snow and Charming are married in real life, thanks to the show. Emma, Regina, Rumple, Belle, Ariel, just everyone. Henry, older in Henry is like, he really captures, Henry young, and then Henry, like, it makes sense, like, he's grown up Henry. The only one I do not agree with, Cinderella. She's okay. It's a little hard. As it went on, it got better and better, after the first couple episodes, but I have to say, that was probably the only one I wouldn't have agreed with for that character, but, yeah. But, like, freaking Lucy is adorable. I miss, little Henry, but, like, Lucy was freaking adorable, and just, like, them integrating, because at the beginning, Henry had the walkie-talkies and stuff, so, like, then it was like, oh, why don't we do this, and just texting, bringing back the operations, and, it was just so good, and, like, how they kind of combined, I guess you could say, the realms with Storybrooke, so it was, like, it was still Storybrooke, but they were all together, and to have to worry about realms and this and that. It was just, oh, it was so cool. It was like they all came together, and it was just the perfect ending. It was seriously 10 out of 10, in my opinion, the perfect season finale. Like, you get the feels, you get the wrap up, you get just the closure. Yeah, I guess wrap up and closure, same thing. You get the wrap up and the closure. You get this feeling, not a happily ever after. Not like you get the happy beginnings, I believe, or no, new beginnings. That's what Regina called. You get the new beginnings, and I love that, and it just. So, and also the little goof. Like, they had the baby, but also there was, like, a doll, I'm pretty sure. A couple times, like, they were passing Emma's baby, and it just couldn't help but laugh. I had to say that. It was just funny. But, they had to have her, all new moms are late and stuff like that. I love that. How, because Regina interrupted Snow and Charming's wedding at the beginning, so it's like, then Regina's going to get crowned, and Emma runs in, and it was just that perfect, like, comedic relief, comedy joke. I guess not relief, because it was all happy, so I guess just, tied to all that had happened kind of a thing. But, yeah, it was hard, because not only is Henry the author, but he had the heart of the truest believer. I mean, grandparents of true love, mom was the product of true love, and this and that. Although it was hard that he did not believe he had grown up so much, and it just shows you that's what happens, As I always said, that by the time kids enter school, it's always like, oh, be creative, do this and all, but then in school, it's like, they suck that creativity out of you, you gotta color the sky blue and grass green, and do this and everything, stay in your box, stay in your lane. And so they suck the imagination right out of kids. And so, it happens, Henry. But the way he wakes up, that I have to say, the way that Henry, I just now remembered, I'm all talking about how everyone woke up and everything was perfect. But the way Henry woke up was perfection. It was probably in 7 seasons, that was my favorite wake up. That Henry woke up Henry. That Henry woke up Henry. Young Henry woke up older Henry. He made a call because Regina had she's like, look at these numbers. See, I told, like, there was an adoption. This is my signature. See, this is my signature. He makes the call, and it wakes him up. He remembers he got this call on graduation, and it was himself. And it all came flooding back. And honestly, like, that's what you expect from the truest believer, to wake up his own self. That you believe, you'd think you would believe his mom, but, or any of this to work. But no, he had gone that far down that he needed himself to believe in himself, kind of a thing. Does that make sense? The show's very confusing, so, but I just, oh my gosh, the twist in it, from episode to episode, you honestly, and there was a lot, I could see coming, like I said, I knew Tilly was Alice, and there was a lot that my best friend Sarah, she was like, oh, I called that, like, you see it, and you're like, okay, yeah, okay, now, you see it, and you're like, oh, it makes sense, or, like, you find out who Maleficent was with to have Lily, and it was just like, oh, okay, because they don't know in dragon form, but then they find out or something, and, yeah, there was a lot that Sarah, she had called, but, then there was a lot, you're like, wait, what? Okay, now hold up, and you turn back around, and, you have Basilia, you have Princess, I love Princess Tiana. It's kind of funny, there's this place here that does beignets, And so I know a little bit about them. I love them. And then they start talking about in the show. It's like, that thing where you don't know about something, you don't hear about it, but once you do, you hear about it everywhere. But anyways, I love Princess Tiana, and I love how Princess Tiana was close with Cinderella. They were friends, and that whole dynamic. And it was just, like I said, it was just, it was just perfect. But, I don't know, just, like I said, you watch the episode, you're like, oh, and, I mean, Lady Tremaine had no fault of her own. She was led to this, so it's like, each of them, they had reasons for this curse, but it's like, okay, she did the curse, no, Gisela did curse, well, no, technically not, it was Gothel, and then it was, okay, someone who had help, which, I guess, in a way, I guess Rumpel did do it, kind of willed the way, him, and the way he does things, making deals and all that, and how he tricked Henry, young Henry, didn't say, oh, you're gonna need, wasn't older Henry, it was young Henry, who actually wasn't even Henry, it was Wish Henry, so, not even Henry at all, it was Wish Henry, from when, the Black Fairy had, had removed, Emma from there, and so they, she goes back to the castle, and it was like that she had never been separated from her parents, and Henry was there, so then he seen Regina kill his grandparents, and she was just trying to, get Emma to wake up, and so then he was after her, and like, seeing, like, Regina, she's like, I'm not gonna fight you, and he's like, going, he's about to do it, and he just drops, he just knows, and just, but if you have not seen it, which, I mean, I gave a lot away, but, kind of wait a little bit, let yourself forget about this, but I highly recommend watching season 7. It really ties everything together, and you get to see everyone one last time. But that is Humble Tea for this week. And if you like it, please give it a big fat thumbs up, like however you're watching this. Follow, subscribe, wherever you watch podcasts. And let me know what you would like to hear me ramble about next. Spill the tea about. But that's it. Thank you all so very much. And that's the tea. Bye, guys.